the deer. In 2000, car deer crashes in Michigan caused 8 motorist deaths and more than 2,100 injuries. Half of these deaths were motorcyclists, who are particularly vulnerable in collisions with deer. Drivers who see a deer on the highway ahead sometimes have only a brief moment to react. And if you did have time, you may not know the right thing to do. Michigan crash statistics show that most injuries and deaths occurred because drivers swerved to avoid hitting the deer. And while it may seem the right thing to try to do, it is often the very worst thing you should do. The fact is that most serious injuries and fatalities resulting from car-deer collisions involve the vehicle striking a fixed object, like a tree, or hitting another vehicle.
To understand what's behind car-deer crashes, it's first important to understand a bit more about the animal that's become so much a part of Michigan's landscape. Deer are found in every county, but they do have habitat preferences. They like to move along streams or river corridors or lowland areas. They use woody brush and woodlots for cover. Problems can occur where we have a woodlot on one side of the road and crops on the other side of that road. Deer won't travel too far from cover. However, there are no absolutes when it comes to deer. In the spring, deer will show up along roadsides because that's where the grass greens up first. Generally, you'll see fewer deer in midsummer because they become more secretive as they raise their young. There's a lot more vegetation that provides both food and cover. In the fall and winter, deer travel between shelter and food and become particularly active in the months of October through December during the fall breeding season. Deer living near highways become habituated to traffic. Cars have become such a part of our landscape in Michigan that deer do not perceive them as a threat. Deer often stand motionless when a vehicle approaches, but can panic at any time. Deer tend to move in single file, so keep in mind when you see one deer, chances are there will be more. So, what's at the root of the car-deer crash problem? A number of factors are at work. Michigan's deer herd has grown dramatically. In the last 30 years, it has increased fourfold, from under 500,000 deer to nearly 2 million deer today. In the most populated counties of southern Michigan, the increases are even more dramatic, increasing tenfold, from nearly 70,000 in 1970 to more than 700,000 deer today. Deer live in all 83 counties of Michigan, and car-deer crashes have become a problem in every county.
Even the most prepared driver may not be able to react in time to deer darting across the road in front of them. It's natural to want to swerve to avoid hitting any animal in the roadway, especially something as large as a white-tailed deer, but this can be a very risky response. First, the best protection for yourself and your family is wear your safety belts. Belts are your best defense against injury in any crash. Slow down and stay alert. Deer can dart out from any direction without warning. If you swerve to avoid a deer, it could send you skidding into another vehicle or cause your vehicle to roll over or leave the roadway. An analysis of crash statistics shows that this is how people are killed or injured in collisions with deer. A driver who fails to recognize or react to their skid will most likely lose control of their vehicle. So, what should you do if a collision is clearly unavoidable? If you're about to collide with a deer, brake firmly, hold onto the steering wheel, and maintain control of your vehicle before, during, and after the collision. Regardless of how you feel about destroying any animal, it is your best choice. A review of many years of crash statistics shows that very few motorists are injured or killed by the act of simply striking a deer. Again, most serious injury crashes have taken place because the vehicle left the roadway or struck another vehicle. No animal's life is worth your own, your passengers, or the occupants of another vehicle. Pull off the road and turn on your emergency flashers. Be cautious of other traffic if you choose to leave your vehicle. Don't attempt to remove a deer from the highway unless you are convinced it is dead. An injured deer's sharp hooves can easily hurt you. Call the closest law enforcement agency to report the crash. If you wish, a police officer or conservation officer can issue you a permit to keep the deer. Reporting the mishap also gives law enforcement and the DNR a better picture of the problem for future action. Remember, car deer crashes are a year-round problem in Michigan that deserves the public's attention. The Michigan Deer Crash Coalition believes that education efforts like this video are key to keeping awareness of this issue at the forefront.